Що ж, бажаю вам наснаги і в подальших матчах з Люксембургом. Студія.
Sometimes unscripted events and live broadcasts make it past the censors and into our living rooms.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
From embarrassing on-screen slip-ups by celebrities to unanticipated disasters, here are 25 inappropriate TV moments that were really broadcasted. Number 25. Embarrassed reporter. During the current Melbourne Cup festivities at Perth's Ascot Racetrack, Lee Steele, a Channel 10 reporter, had an entertaining and unexpected encounter while on live air. While she was conducting her live crossback to the studio, revelers in the background were having a great time. An unrestrained lady approached Steele from behind and abruptly licked her ear, taking the reporter by surprise.
Until about midday, that's when people... Oh, no.
Before things could calm down, another partygoer joined in on the fun and mooned the camera, baring his rear for all to see on live television. Despite the unexpected interruptions, the quick-thinking cameraman attempted to salvage the scenario by zooming in on Steele and cropping out the mooning man. Unfortunately, the incident had already found its way onto the screens of spectators, and when Steele realized what had happened, she took it all in stride and laughed off the revelers' wickedness after being briefed about it by her colleagues in the studio. The story rapidly went viral on social media, with many people expressing compassion for Steele, while also complimenting the cameraman for his quick reflexes in escaping additional disgrace. Number 24. Strange sound. U.S. Congressman Eric Swalwell found himself in an embarrassing predicament after being forced to adamantly deny having passed gas during a live TV interview on MSNBC that rapidly went viral. The event occurred during his appearance on Hardball with Chris Matthews, when they reviewed evidence given in the impeachment hearings probing President Donald Trump's alleged phone call with the president of Ukraine. An unexpected pause attracted the attention of viewers when Swalwell, a member of the House Intelligence Committee, began replying to Matthews' query. He said that proof of the president using government cash to seek assistance from Ukraine in election manipulation was uncontradicted. An audible sound resembling that of flatulence would then be detected during the second break.
The president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
And the congressman seemed to shift slightly in his seat. In reaction to the social media outrage about the embarrassing occurrence, Swalwell moved to Twitter to clarify the error, forcefully claiming it was not me. The reporter, Addie Baird, exchanged a text message with the congressman in which he denied responsibility for the sound. Number 23. Prank on Will Smith. During the Moscow premiere of Men in Black 3 in 2012, a Ukrainian prankster planned to undertake a dangerous action. As the film star Will Smith approached the red carpet, the man abruptly hugged him and kissed both of his cheeks. Quickly reacting, the 53-year-old actor shoved the man away and slapped him on the cheek. When contacted by another reporter moments later, Smith repeated the event, emphasizing his astonishment and discomfort, claiming that the prankster had attempted to kiss him on the lips.
Oh my God, a dream. There you go. There you go.
He then jokingly stated that the man was lucky that he didn't respond more aggressively. Smith would go on to recognize his error and apologize on camera. The event would draw even more attention when Smith addressed it on The Late Show with David Letterman. The actor had called the experience awkward, emphasizing the unexpected nature of the prank and its impact on him. The man, who's known for his daring red carpet activities, had previously targeted other celebrities with his pranks. However, because of Smith's prompt and strong response, his actions would receive extensive media publicity. Number 22. Talk show fight. Two Jordanian journalists were embroiled in an unpleasant and disastrous incident that harmed their respective businesses. On the TV station 7 Stars, the two men were having a live on-air conversation about the Syrian issues when their disagreement turned into a passionate confrontation. The altercation became violent as the verbal debate heated up. They both rose up and angrily shoved the desk that they were seated at, utterly destroying the set. The spectacular conflict would take place during the show Between Opposing Opinions, a show that many people come on to in order to debate, argue, and go over their platforms and opinions in a mostly controlled setting. Now, the scenario would swiftly become out of hand as they allowed their emotions to take over, ignoring the professional demeanor that was expected in their trade. When production personnel stepped in and intervened, pushing the two guys apart after the table toppled from their intense shoving struggle, the commotion on the set would end. Number 21. BBC reporter slapped. During a live broadcast, news presenter Ben Brown discussed the Labour Party election manifesto, unveiling in Bradford with his colleague, assistant political editor Norman Smith. When they were interrupted by a member of the public, their conversation took an unexpected turn. The woman, clad in a leopard print blouse and black jacket carrying many bags, stood between the two journalists and enthusiastically remarked, "Absolutely amazing." Her presence, though, appeared to be a stumbling block for Brown, who had sought to rapidly shift her out of view. In an unfortunate turn of events, Brown's right hand seemed to accidentally contact the woman's chest as he sought to move her away. As a result, she would slap his shoulder before walking away across the camera's view. Following the event, the woman's identity remained unknown and had not been properly identified in media sources. However, social media users were outraged, with some asking for Brown's ousting and calling his behavior disgraceful. There were also requests that West Yorkshire Police look into the situation. Number 20. Distracting giraffe. CBS 8 reporter Ashley Jacobs had an amusing interaction with a loving 9-month-old giraffe while doing a stand-up report at the San Diego Zoo. The curious giraffe chose to get up close and personal with her while she was presenting her report, displaying his appreciation with a playful licking. Ashley, taken aback by the giraffe's sudden attention, had sought to keep her cool while continuing with her story. However, the charming connection rapidly turned into a lighthearted and humorous occasion, leaving her coworkers in fits of laughter.
Ashley?
Despite the distraction of the friendly giraffe, Ashley managed to finish her report as best she could, periodically gently directing the giraffe away from the camera. Her calm demeanor and the giraffe's playful activities had created an amusing and touching sight that charmed spectators and social media users alike. The video of the interaction would gain widespread attention, with 76,000 views. The joy of the incident was in the giraffe's surprising behavior and Ashley's lighthearted reaction to the circumstance. Number 19. Reporter falls. Raymond Arroyo, a Fox News contributor, was present on a show called The Ingram Angle. He had joked about taking a selfie with presenter Laura Ingram while holding a few drinks. Arroyo grabbed a beer bottle and leaned towards Ingram, elevating his arm to capture the photo. However, in his quest for the perfect angle, he had tipped over and tumbled out of his chair, which resulted in a hilarious scene.
Okay. Smile. Do we have it? Wait, the angle. Go to the edge. Wait, the angle. Go to the edge. Oh, wow.
Despite the mistake, Arroyo asked humorously, "Smile. Do we have it?" he said as he fell. Ingram had kept her cool and proceeded with the broadcast, moving on to another topic about Judge Brett Kavanaugh. The amusing occurrence became the topic of discussion as the video would go viral online, attracting viewers' attention. In reaction to the viral footage, Ingram moved to Twitter to reassure anxious viewers that the stunt was all in good fun and that Arroyo had not been injured. The lighthearted approach to a serious issue had added fun to the presentation and highlighted the rapport and friendship between the presenter and the contributor. Number 18. Baby sheep. Connor Macaulay, a BBC Northern Ireland journalist, was in the middle of a broadcast about a heartwarming adoption of a 3-month-old pet lamb named Button when he had an unexpected and humorous occurrence. Button had decided to make her presence felt in the most entertaining manner imaginable by emptying herself on camera just as Macaulay was transitioning to explain why the sheep's owners had come afoul of the Department of Agriculture. The crew could not stop laughing at the sweet, yet embarrassing moment, but Macaulay handled it all in stride. He even shook his boot on camera with a smile on his face to shake off any mess from the wee mishap. Despite the small hiccup, his section became an online phenomenon, attracting coverage from media sources worldwide. The pleasant and hilarious occurrence demonstrated the unpredictability of live reporting and added fun to an otherwise touching narrative. Recognizing the broad appeal of the leg-warming tale, The BBC led the effort in disseminating the film, embracing the pleasant incident and making it a memorable moment for people worldwide. Number 17. Helen Skelton Wardrobe Mishap. During a live television program, Helen Skelton, a Blue Peter broadcaster, had a wardrobe mishap. During the Olympics parade's climax, the 28-year-old was interviewing Olympic and Paralympic icons Sir Chris Hoy and Sarah Story on stage in front of Buckingham Palace. She was wearing a sleeveless, short red dress and a gold necklace when a sudden gust of wind swept her dress up in the air, unwittingly showing her knickers to the country. She hastily tried to pull her dress down to hide the snafu, holding a microphone in one hand and her notes under her arm. Helen had lowered her knees in astonishment and humiliation and cried, "Oh my goodness."
You've got so many medals. Oh my word.
The unexpected occurrence caused a brief break in the live broadcast while the presenter regained her composure, and it sparked outrage on social media and in the media, with viewers sympathizing with Helen's situation. Despite the unforeseen mistake, she handled it with elegance and professionalism, continuing the interview without allowing the wardrobe malfunction to overwhelm the event. Number 16. Cold Bath. During an edition of Good Morning Britain, co-host Ben Shepherd made a humorous but frightening move that had his colleague Kate Garraway and the entire studio in stitches. Following an interview with Beverly Knight, in which G&B committed a significant payment to the Children's Heart Unit Fund, for which Ben had been gathering funds, Ben jumped into the very cold water. When Kate inquired how it felt, Ben said playfully, "Amazing. No, it's horrible. Let's go." Ben unexpectedly yanked Kate off of her feet and into the tub with him, culminating in a humorous and unexpected incident. Kate's pastel blue shoes and lovely flowery gown were soaked, but she smiled brightly as she sat on Ben's lap while she broke out laughing. Beverly, who had come onto the show to talk about her role in the West End rendition of The Bodyguard, couldn't stop laughing at the antics. The studio's exuberant environment added to the overall absurdity of the scenario. Number 15. X Factor Judges. During an interview on the popular show X Factor in 2014, Louise Walsh, a music manager and former X Factor judge, had grabbed Mel B's bottom. The altercation took place while the two were on the sofa with Simon Cowell and Cheryl. Louise can be seen in the video rubbing Mel B's behind, sparking an obviously irritated response from the former Spice Girl. She interrupted the program to confront him about his behavior, wanting to know why he had improperly touched her. He then attempted to excuse his actions by claiming that he was only watching out for her, but Simon interjected, insisting that she was safe. Unimpressed by the explanation, Mel B then approached him personally, calling his behavior inappropriate. The footage of the event would spark widespread outrage online, with viewers voicing their displeasure. Many people were angry at him for not apologizing in a sincere way and instead trying to laugh off the whole situation. Number 14. Split his pants. During an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Nick Kroll addressed his new film Uncle Drew, in which he portrays the self-proclaimed token white guy alongside NBA players Kyrie Irving, Nate Robinson, Reggie Miller, Chris Webber, and Shaquille O'Neal. Kroll had a massive wardrobe malfunction while telling a funny story about playing basketball with Kyrie Irving for the film. He joked with the crowd after having recounted his delight at the opportunity to play basketball with the superstar, and he spoke boldly about his abilities, recalling his days on his Jewish day school squad, believing that he could actually compete with an NBA player. Kroll comically described how he played decent defense and even scored a layup against Irving. He stepped back on defense feeling assured, screaming that he had Kyrie. His cockiness, though, was fleeting, both in the narrative he was delivering and on stage with Kimmel. He simulated the event by making a gesture before exclaiming, "I just fully split my trousers." The crowd burst out laughing at his clothing malfunction, making it a comedic highlight of the interview. Number 13. Live resignation. Charlotte Green, a television reporter, made headlines in 2014 when she abruptly resigned from her job live on air and the viral video of her resignation swiftly spread on social media. After the event occurred during a story on the Alaska Cannabis Club, an organization that lobbies for recreational marijuana usage in the state, during her episode, she met with representatives of the club as well as individuals who were opposed to marijuana legislation. However, she would surprise everyone midway through the show by exposing her personal involvement with the club. She was, in fact, the owner of it. She resigned without hesitation on live air, cursing and saying, "As for this job, well, I quit."
And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but I quit.
Charlo made the daring choice to leave her career in order to focus on being a full-time cannabis advocate. In that pivotal moment, she spoke from her heart, speaking her own truths, and while her departure had made a strong statement, it also resulted in legal ramifications for her club. Authorities would then raid the club, and she was charged with various criminal offenses, with the possibility of 54 years in prison. Following allegations, she would plead guilty to one felony count. Number 12. Designer cuts model swimsuit. Miss Hawaii 2014 Moani Hara was in a delicate circumstance during a live United States television broadcast in 2014. Adam Sachs, a fashion designer, appeared on the show to make a new swim costume by cutting parts of Moani's already revealing swimwear. Sachs is a world-renowned fashion designer known for his unique style of using just one pair of scissors to modify outfits that already look fabulous. The demeanor on set was professional, even if a bit risky, because one wrong snip could have easily revealed much more than intended on live air. Adam continued to work on the outfit throughout the broadcast and in the end revealed a stunning new custom piece. Everyone's professional demeanor emphasized the importance of respect and professionalism on television, especially when dealing with delicate issues such as wardrobe choices and personal boundaries. Number 11. Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction. A wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl 38 halftime show in 2004 would drastically alter Janet Jackson's life. Jackson was one of the main acts scheduled to play with Justin Timberlake. Timberlake had accidentally pulled a piece of Jackson's outfit off during their performance, revealing her chest on live television. The exposure lasted for less than a second, yet it was enough to spark widespread indignation and sensationalism. Due to the occurrence, the Super Bowl halftime performance, which is normally a display of musical talent and entertainment, suddenly became the center of a media frenzy. This would result in stricter limits for live broadcasts in the future, and Janet Jackson would endure significant backlash, bearing the brunt of public attention, while Justin Timberlake had mostly avoided it. The event and its aftermath highlighted the double standards and uneven treatment that some musicians experience in the music business, and the attention of the dispute had turned to Janet Jackson, while Timberlake faced less serious consequence. Number 10. Kanye West interrupts Taylor Swift. Kanye West, the controversial music figure, has earned a reputation for his erratic behavior, particularly when live cameras are rolling. When it comes to Kanye's outrageous behavior, one instance sticks out above all others. He came on stage at the MTV Music Video Awards in 2009 to disrupt Taylor Swift's acceptance speech for Best Female Video. Swift was ready to give her a thank you speech when West unexpectedly took the microphone away from her, claiming that Beyoncé deserved the prize instead.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Kanye would adamantly proclaim that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time, and he stole Swift's thunder and denigrated her accomplishments in front of millions of people. The unexpected interruption would not only humiliate Swift, but also ignite a long-running enmity between the two performers. Despite eventually apologizing for his behavior, it had a long-lasting influence on the music business, sparking debates about respect and acceptable behavior at live concerts. Number 9. Bulgarian fighter kisses reporter. During the 2009 seasons, a very contentious incident involving a Bulgarian heavyweight boxer played out on U.S.-American television. The boxer was being interviewed by reporter Jennifer Cavello after his victory against his Romanian opponent. The interview began as planned, but then took an undesirable turn when he kissed the journalist on the lips without her permission.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While Cavello originally answered with an uneasy giggle, the situation became much more upsetting when it was revealed that the boxer had actually caressed her inappropriately with both hands after the interview. She took in swift legal action in response to his horrific and humiliating actions and sought legal counsel to address the infringement of her personal boundaries and dignity. The act would draw enormous public and media outrage along with condemnation, bringing the subject of respecting boundaries and consent to the forefront. Boxing authorities would punish him for his activities due to the seriousness of his behavior, and he was temporarily suspended from the sport, forced to undergo a behavioral course that was aimed at teaching acceptable behavior. Number 8. Children's Drawing. A British morning television show that included 2 hosts asked their viewers to bring in humorous artworks that were done by their children in an improper yet weirdly charming moment. During the program, the hosts had planned to show off the results. The artwork, on the other hand, turned out to not only be brilliantly amusing, but also incredibly provocative, resulting in an uncontrolled fit of laughter. One innocent slide-like drawing was definitely suggestive of some specific male anatomy, and even the image of Santa Claus, who was supposed to give presents, seemed slightly and rather usefully hilarious. The highlight of the episode, though, was a flower that had been made by a boy for his mother, which had proved to be difficult for the hosts to keep their composure.
Said, "This is my son's flower he made me." Louise says to my daughter.
They struggled to keep the program going because they kept breaking out into floods of laughter, and surprisingly, the segment was so well received by the audience that it became a regular staple on the show, with the hosts showing more of these amusingly uncomfortable child artworks. Number 7. Tyra Banks Prank. Now let's discuss Tyra Banks, one of the most successful top models of the 90s. Despite her successful career, though, she had a very insensitive and awful performance on her very own talk show. At first glance, the presentation looked routine, with the top model approaching the stage and apologizing to the audience for not being able to give her finest performance that day. She said that she had been bitten by a dog and had to go to the hospital, and during treatment it was discovered that the dog had rabies. Tyra Banks was then immunized against the hazardous disease, but things took a turn for the worst as she staggered to her chair. Suddenly, she began to feel exceedingly ill, and white foam began to trickle from her lips. In an unexpected turn, she morphed into a ferocious and frantic beast and attacked her own audience. Now, despite the fact that it was all intended as a joke, nobody considered the performance remotely entertaining. Number 6. Angry Judges. On an episode of X Factor New Zealand, Natalia Kills and Willie Moon humiliated and mocked aspiring vocalist Joe Irvine following his performance. Irvine had performed Cry Me a River, after which Natalia accused him of emulating her husband's particular appearance, which included gelled back hair and a suit. She questioned his disregard for originality, implying that Moon owned the right to wear suits and groom his hair in that manner. To add insult to injury, she called Irvine a laughingstock and conveyed her distaste for his artistic performance.
How much you have copied my husband. From the hair to the suit, do you not have any value or respect for originality?
The severe criticism intensified when Kills revealed that she was embarrassed to sit in Irvine's company and provide her views. In response, an astounded Irvine retorted, pointing out that Natalia had even once imitated Cleopatra. This answer, however, did not discourage the singer and her husband from continuing with the scathing insults. Moon even alluded that Irvine would stitch a flesh mask to his own face and murder everyone who was present. The event did not sit well with the show's producers, and both Natalia and Moon were subsequently fired as judges on the show. Number 5. Shane Byrne and Champagne. 6-time Kent Superbike champion Shane Byrne was captured on film in 2013 indulging in horrible behavior towards a woman on the winner's podium in a horrific incident that just emerged on social media. Byrne shook a bottle of drink before spraying it on the woman, as is customary, but his actions would take a somewhat wrong turn when he squatted down and directed the spray up her skirt.
I haven't got that crash on that's under there, Shaky. Thank you very much. Alex Lowe's in second place there, Samsung Honda.
The video would spark indignation and criticism, and deservedly so. This type of behavior is utterly wrong and demeaning to women. The incident emphasizes the need to raise awareness and educate others about the importance of respecting personal boundaries and treating all people with decency and concern. After the video went viral again, Byrne apologized on his Instagram account. While apologies are necessary, they cannot undo the consequences of such actions. This incident serves as a reminder that public personalities, particularly sportsmen and champions, have to set a good example for their fans and followers. Number 4. Confirming the relationship. Football player Alexander Zinchenko was instrumental in Ukraine's victory over Serbia during a Euro 2020 qualifier. However, it was his conduct following the match that would draw the most attention. During a live television interview with reporter Vlada Sadan, he startled viewers by leaning in and kissing her on the cheek.
Що ж, бажаю вам наснаги і в подальших матчах з Люксембургом. Студія.
While such demonstrations of affection are not customary post-match, his gesture had a purpose. This kiss was intended to cement his relationship with Vlada. The footballer's actions made a statement regarding their romantic engagement, putting an end to previous conjecture and rumors about the relationship. His intimate touch at the end of the interview took her off guard, prompting her to flush on tape. Viewers and the media were taken aback by the incident, which sparked debate about the acceptable limits between players and journalists. While the act of acknowledging a relationship was joyful for the pair, it also generated arguments about sports journalists' professionalism and ethics. The event underscored the significance of distinguishing between personal and professional ties. Number 3. Hair malfunction. In this video, an Olympic long jumper by the name of Blessing had an unpleasant moment during the Diamond League meeting in Oslo, where her wig fell off mid-jump. The Nigerian athlete, who had previously won the silver in Beijing in 2008, had a catastrophe upon landing, causing her head to tilt back and her hairpiece to fall off.
Looking to get a competition underway, and look what happened. Lost her hairpiece.
With a smile on her face, the 28-year-old returned to locate her wig in the sandpit. Despite the accident, her official leap was 6.2 meters, which was less than her personal best. Unfortunately, the performance that day placed her 8th overall in the tournament. It became a memorable moment throughout the tournament, though, attracting the attention of both fans and the media. Despite the defeat, she remained calm, showing good sportsmanship all throughout the games. Number 2. Ronaldo trolls reporter. Cristiano Ronaldo showed off his lighter side by photobombing a club reporter during a news segment at the training site. The football player observed a camera crew recording the commentator, who was most likely providing updates on the team's progress, and he then decided to have some fun. Ronaldo copied the broadcaster's actions behind the reporter's back, producing a humorous and cheerful moment for everyone involved. His fun gesture demonstrated his sense of humor and friendship with the club's media squad, and with his antics, the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner entertained fans and colleagues alike, adding a sense of surprise and enjoyment to the proceedings. Despite being one of the world's best players, he stayed approachable and affable, frequently engaging in light banter with his teammates and club personnel. Number 1. Camila Cabello's wardrobe malfunction. Camila Cabello promoted her album Familia during an appearance on the British chat show The One Show. She donned a flowing skirt while giving a live remote interview. One of the hosts invited her to show her favorite dancing movements as the talk went on. That's when she unintentionally exposed herself to the cameras as she stood up and fixed her blouse. The situation grew awkward, laughing it off throughout the talk. She would later express sorrow on TikTok for not having her stylist's advice to get more coverage. This episode serves as a reminder that even celebrities experience unanticipated fashion blunders, but they also frequently find ways to laugh it off and move on, demonstrating that they too are human and can manage such times with grace.